You know that feeling, right? You're at a party, or maybe you're just grabbing a coffee and someone turns to you.
Like a native English speaker or maybe a new colleague?
Yeah, exactly. And they ask you what is honestly the most terrifyingly simple question in the world. They ask, "So what do you do every day?" Or "How was your day?"
Oh, the panic is completely real. It's just instantaneous.
It is. Your mind just goes completely blank. I mean, you know the words, you know work, you know eat, you know sleep,
Right.
but trying to put them all together in that exact moment, it feels like trying to solve a calculus equation while juggling.
It really does. It's what we in linguistics call small talk anxiety. And it's fascinating because, well, it doesn't happen when you're discussing complex topics that you've studied for years.
Like engineering or medical terms.
Exactly. It happens with the basics, the everyday mundane stuff.
Yeah,
The simple questions are the ones that make us freeze.
they really do. The simple stuff trips us up the hardest. And, that is exactly why we're gathered here today. Welcome back to the deep dive.
It is so great to be here with you all.
Today, we are stripping everything back. We're looking at a really comprehensive guide that focuses entirely on one core topic: the daily routine.
It sounds so simple, doesn't it? Just talking about your day.
It does sound simple.
Yeah.
But as we've been reading through this material on daily routine conversations, I realized just how much nuance is actually hidden in the things we do every single day.
Oh, absolutely. There is a massive difference between just knowing a vocabulary word and actually knowing how to use it to paint a picture of your life.
Yeah.
The material we're covering today argues something pretty amazing. It says that if you can master the narrative of your own 24-hour cycle, you basically unlock fluency for 80% of casual conversations.
That is a really bold claim, 80%.
Think about it, though. Most human connection is built on shared daily experiences. Things like, I'm tired, or traffic was so bad today, or I had a really great lunch.
Oh, I see.
Right. If you can navigate your daily routine with confidence, you're no longer just translating words in your head. You're actually connecting with people.
I love that you're connecting. So, the mission for today's deep dive is to take this day in the life framework provided by our source material and just unpack it completely.
We're going to walk through a typical day, literally hour by hour.
And we're going to stop at every single step to analyze the vocabulary, the little grammar traps, and the cultural context hidden inside these normal actions.
We are going to turn the mundane into the masterful.
Let's do it. And, the source material sets a very specific scene for this practice. It asks us to imagine a private garden.
Which is exactly where we are right now.
Yes. You can probably hear the birds singing softly in the background. We've got fresh sunlight filtering in. It's calm, it's warm.
It's all about creating a low-stress environment for learning. That atmosphere is so crucial.
Why is that? Why the garden vibe?
Well, there's this thing called the affective filter. It's a term for the mental wall of anxiety you put up when you're nervous about making mistakes. That wall needs to come down.
Makes sense.
So imagine you're safe here in the garden with us. No one is grading you. It's just a friendly chat.
Okay, I am relaxed. I'm in the garden. I've got my coffee.
Before we officially begin the walkthrough, just a quick reminder to subscribe to our channel for more easy, relaxing English lessons just like this one.
Definitely do that so you don't miss out.
All right, let's start at the very beginning of the day. Phase 1, the morning.
The morning is where the battle for fluency is either won or lost.
The text gives us a starting time, 6 a.m.
Which is, frankly, ambitious.
Very ambitious.
Yay.
I am much more of a 7:30 person myself. But let's look at the vocabulary right off the bat. The text explicitly uses the phrase, I wake up.
Right. And here is the very first pitfall for learners. The source material highlights a really important distinction here: the difference between waking up and getting up. Oh, let's unpack that, because I feel like I use them interchangeably all the time, but they really aren't the same thing, are they?
Not at all. Waking up is the neurological event. Your eyes open. Consciousness returns to your brain. You are simply no longer asleep.
Okay.
This can happen because of an alarm clock or a bird chirping or just your natural body clock. But you are entirely passive in this action. It happens to you.
Whereas getting up.
Getting up is the physical action. It involves actually removing the heavy blankets, swinging your feet over the side of the bed, putting them on the floor, and standing vertical.
Got it.
You can wake up at 6 a.m. and not actually get up until 6:45.
Which is literally my entire life story. I woke up at 6, but I didn't get up until 7.
Precisely. And in a real conversation, making that distinction adds so much natural flavor.
How so?
Well, if you tell someone, I got up at 6, they immediately think you are a very disciplined person.
Mm-hmm.
But if you say, I woke up at 6, they just know you stopped sleeping. They might even assume you stayed in bed.
That is such a great point. Let's talk about the catalyst for this whole process. The alarm. The text mentions the alarm ringing, beep, 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 beep.
The universal sound of dread.
Truly. Now, the source material mentions a very specific feeling here. The intense desire to just sleep more versus the actual need to start the day. And it touches on the phrase, turn off the alarm.
Turn off. Notice that it's a phrasal verb. In English, we don't usually say stop the alarm or close the alarm. We turn it off.
Or, if we're being completely honest about our morning routine, we hit snooze.
Hit snooze. That wasn't explicitly written in the main text, but it is heavily implied in that struggle to get out of bed, isn't it?
It really is. So, after the alarm struggle comes the physical movement. The text uses the phrase, I sit up.
Sit up. Again, prepositions in English are doing a lot of the heavy lifting here.
They really are. English is such a language of direction.
Exactly. You are lying down in the bed, so to change that state, you must sit up. It's a transitional movement. And right after that, the text mentions stretching.
I stretch my body. Oh, that just feels good saying it.
It's a great verb. Stretching implies tension and then release. You aren't just moving your arms, you are elongating the muscles to wake them up.
Now, the source material points out a very common habit right here. And I have to say, I felt personally attacked when I read this part.
Let me guess. The phone.
Yes, the phone. The text literally says, many people check their phone first thing in the morning.
It is a modern epidemic for sure.
The specific verb used there is check. I check messages, I check social media. Why do we use check in that context?
The word check implies a quick, temporary inspection. You aren't reading a novel or deeply studying a legal document. You are just looking for quick updates.
Right.
It implies brevity, even though, as we all know, checking social media can very easily turn into 45 minutes of staring at a screen.
That's the trap. You intend to check, but you end up scrolling.
Scrolling is the perfect descriptive word for that visual action. But sticking to our source text, it lists checking messages, checking social media, or looking at the news. It's a massive input of information before you've even left the comfort of your bed.
So we've woken up, we've battled the alarm, we've checked our phone. Now we actually leave the bedroom. The text moves us straight to the bathroom.
Hygiene. This is where daily vocabulary gets very specific, and honestly, it's where direct translation from other languages often fails completely.
The first phrase we have here is brush my teeth.
Note the plural there. Teeth. You never brush your tooth unless you only have one left.
Let's really hope that is not the case for anyone listening. But why do we say brush?
It comes directly from the tool you are using, the bristled toothbrush. In some other languages, you might wash your teeth or clean your teeth.
Right, that makes sense.
But in English, the action is defined entirely by the instrument. I brush my teeth.
And the frequency mentioned in the text is twice a day.
Twice. Notice we don't say 2 times. I mean, you can say 2 times and people will understand you, but twice sounds so much more natural and fluent.
Once, twice, and then we switch to 3 times.
Yes. It's a weird little quirk of English, isn't it?
Yeah.
We have special dedicated words for 1 and 2, but then we just give up and use regular numbers for everything else.
It really highlights how incredibly common those specific frequencies are in daily life. Okay, next up in the bathroom, wash my face.
That one is pretty standard and translates well, but then we hit the big debate, which the source material specifically brings up, the shower versus the bath.
The text says, I take a shower.
Take. This is one of those collocations, those specific word pairings that absolutely drives language learners crazy.
Because it doesn't always make logical sense.
Exactly. You don't make a shower, you don't do a shower. In English, you take a shower.
Although I should mention, in British English, you might hear someone say, have a shower.
You might, yes. I'm going to have a quick shower. But take a shower is universally understood, and it's the standard in North American English.
And what about the actual difference between a shower and a bath?
A shower is when you are standing up under falling water. A bath is when you are lying down in a tub filled with still water. The text specifically notes that usually people take a shower in the morning because it's much faster.
Speed is definitely the key in a morning routine.
It really is. A bath is for long relaxation in the evening. A shower is for morning efficiency.
All right, so we're clean, we're fully awake. Now we have to cover our bodies before we leave the house. The target phrase is get dressed.
Get dressed. Notice we don't say put on dressed. The word get here indicates a change of state.
Oh, like transitioning from one thing to another.
Exactly. You were in an undressed state, and now you are actively becoming dressed.
The text offers some really good variations here depending on who you are and what you do. If it's a casual day, you might choose a shirt and jeans.
If it's a typical workday, you'd put on formal clothes.
And for the younger listeners or anyone reflecting on their past, the text mentions putting on a school uniform.
Clothing vocabulary is virtually endless, but get dressed is the perfect umbrella term that covers all of it. You can use it without ever specifying what exactly you are wearing, like yelling up the stairs, hurry up and get dressed.
It is a very useful command for parents. Okay, moving on. We are dressed, we are ready to go, but we absolutely need fuel.
Which brings us to phase 2, breakfast and the commute.
The text mentions a breakfast. I always find the etymology of that word so interesting, literally breaking the fast.
That's exactly what it is. You haven't eaten anything all night while you were asleep. Your body is fasting. Now you eat to break it.
The source material lists some very common global staples: bread and eggs, coffee or tea.
It's interesting that the text pairs bread and eggs together. It's a very international standard for a morning meal. But pay attention to the verb usage here. You can say, I eat breakfast, or I have breakfast. Both are completely natural and acceptable.
But then the text throws us a curveball, a very realistic, very modern curveball.
Ah, the skip.
Yes, I skip breakfast.
To skip means to jump over or intentionally omit something. It implies that it was a step you really should have taken or that you usually take, but today you didn't.
Like skipping a rock over water?
Right. You don't say, I didn't do sleeping. You say things like, I skipped lunch or I skipped my morning class.
It always implies a deviation from the expectation. And the reason given in the text for this, I am in a hurry.
In a hurry. That is a fixed phrase.
Yeah.
We don't say, I am in a fast. We say, I am in a hurry or I am in a rush.
So whether we are fueled by eggs or totally unfueled because we skipped it, we finally step out the front door. The text says, I go to the office at 9 a.m. or I go to school.
Notice the preposition to. It indicates movement toward a specific destination.
But wait, what if you don't actually leave your house to work? The text makes sure to mention working from home.
Work from home, WFH. It has become a massive standard part of the modern English lexicon.
But if you do leave the house, you have to commute.
Commute. It's a heavy word, isn't it? It implies a necessary repetitive journey.
You don't commute to the grocery store on a Saturday.
No, you don't. You commute to work or you commute to school. It carries a sense of obligation and regularity.
The text actually breaks down the different modes of transport for this commute, and honestly, this is an absolute goldmine for prepositions.
Oh, this is the nightmare zone for a lot of English learners.
Let's go through them slowly. First, by bus, then by car.
Using by indicates the mode or method of transportation. If someone asks, how did you get here today? You answer, by bus.
But what if I am talking about being physically inside the vehicle right now?
Then the rules change completely. You are in a car, but you are on a bus.
This is what always confuses people. Why am I in a Toyota sedan, but I am on a large city bus?
It seems random, but there is a general rule of thumb here, even though there are always exceptions in English.
What's the rule?
If the vehicle is large enough that you can stand up and walk around inside it while it's moving, you are on it.
Oh, wow.
So you're on a bus, you're on a train, you're on an airplane, you're on a ship.
But you have to crouch down to get into a car.
Exactly. You are tightly encapsulated. You can't stand up. So you are in a taxi, in a car, or in a helicopter.
That visual makes it so incredibly helpful to remember. The text also mentions riding a bike.
You ride anything that you have to straddle with your legs, a bicycle, a horse, a motorcycle.
And then there's the healthiest option of all, walking.
I walk to work. Or you could say I go by foot, though honestly, simply saying walk is much more common in everyday speech.
Imagine walking to work through that peaceful garden we mentioned at the start of the show.
Now that would be the absolute dream commute.
Yeah.
Zero traffic, just the birds and the fresh air.
Speaking of traffic, we will definitely get to that later. But first, we arrive. We are finally at our destination. Which brings us to phase 3, the work or school day.
This is the bulk of our daily existence, sadly. The classic 9 to 5.
The text lists a few core activities. First, attend meetings.
Attend. It's a slightly formal word. You can say go to a meeting, and that's fine. But attending implies a professional presence. You attend a corporate conference. You attend a university lecture.
Next is answer emails.
Answer, or you can say reply to. They are completely interchangeable here. I have 100 emails to answer before noon.
Then talk to clients.
Clients, customers, colleagues. The preposition you want here is to or with,
Is there a difference?
a very subtle one. Talk to is slightly more one way, like giving instructions. Talk with implies a back and forth dialogue, but in casual conversation, they are used interchangeably.
And finally, for the workers, finish tasks.
Tasks. This is an important distinction. A task is very different from a chore.
How so?
Chores are usually domestic things you have to do around the house, like cleaning the bathroom or doing laundry. Tasks are professional or academic items on your to-do list at work or school.
That's a great distinction. For the students listening, the text pivots to academic actions, attending classes and taking notes.
Taking notes. We capture the spoken information on paper. We don't usually say make notes unless we are writing a specific memo to ourselves later. We take them directly from the professor's lecture.
And of course, the most important part of the school day, talking to friends during break.
During. That's a very useful preposition of time. It means the action happens within the specific duration of the break period.
Which naturally leads us to everyone's favorite time, lunch. The text defines this as 12 p.m. to 2 p.m.
2 hours. That is a very generous lunch break.
It is. I'm jealous of whoever wrote this guide. But it offers 3 very realistic options for lunch. First, bring lunch from home.
The classic brown bag lunch. Very economical.
Second option, eat at a restaurant.
The fancy, slightly more expensive option.
Or third order food using an app.
That phrasing, using an app, is incredibly current and natural. We use digital tools to get things done.
Now, right after lunch, we hit a critical universal wall. The text describes a physical sensation that happens to almost everybody, the afternoon slump.
The postprandial dip, if we want to be highly scientific about it, but in casual, everyday English, we just say, I feel sleepy.
The text says exactly that I feel sleepy in the afternoon. It's that heavy feeling right behind your eyes around 2:30.
So what is the suggested remedy in the text?
It gives 2 solutions. First, I drink coffee to stay awake.
Stay awake, meaning to actively maintain your state of wakefulness against the urge to sleep.
Or the second option, I take a short walk.
Again, notice we say take a walk. We don't say do a walk or make a walk.
So we push through that sleepiness, we finish all our remaining tasks, and finally, the sun begins to dip down. It's time for Phase 4 evening and winding down.
Winding down. I absolutely love that idiom.
It's very visual.
It really is.
Yeah.
Think of an old mechanical clock that is wound up tight. In the evening, you let all that physical and mental tension unspool. You slow down your pace.
The workday ends. 5:30 or 6 p.m., I finish work, I leave the office.
And now we have to face the ultimate nemesis of the daily commuter, traffic.
The text points this out specifically. There's a lot of traffic.
Notice an important grammar rule there. Traffic is an uncountable noun.
Meaning no "as" at the end.
Exactly. We never say traffics. We never say many traffic. We always say a lot of traffic or heavy traffic.
And the result of that heavy traffic. The text says it takes me 1 hour to reach home.
It takes me, this is the standard English formula for expressing the duration of an event. It takes 20 minutes to cook. It took 3 years to build.
Finally, the front door opens. You are back in your sanctuary.
The beautiful transition from your public self back to your private self.
The text lists the evening ritual so perfectly. First, change clothes.
Off with the uncomfortable work suit, on with the soft sweatpants,
Then wash hands and face.
which is almost like a symbolic cleansing of the stress of the day,
And then sit on the sofa.
the total collapse.
But how do we actually fill the hours of the evening? The text suggests a few common things: watching TV or scrolling social media.
The passive forms of entertainment to rest the brain.
But it also highlights something important: spending time with family.
Spend time. In English, we treat time very much like it's money.
Oh, that's true.
We spend it, we save it, we waste it. Saying spending time implies that you are actively investing your focus and attention into someone else.
And then we have dinner, usually around 8 p.m., according to the text.
You can cook dinner or make dinner, and the act of sitting down and eating together.
There is also a brief mention of exercise in the evening routine. Go to the gym, do yoga, or go for a walk.
Notice the specific verb for yoga, do yoga.
Right, because sports collocations are notoriously tricky.
Very tricky. You play soccer, you go running, but you do yoga.
That honestly sounds like a whole deep dive episode on its own.
It really does. We could talk for an hour just on sports verbs.
Maybe next time. So finally, the sky is completely dark outside. We have reached Phase 5, night and sleep.
The 24-hour cycle is closing.
Preparation is key here for a smooth morning. The text says, prepare my bag, set my alarm.
We return to the alarm. The circle of life continues.
And then there's a really nice addition here, reflect on the day.
I thought that was a beautiful touch in the source material. It adds a layer of mindfulness, thinking back over what you accomplished or what you learned.
And then the final act of the day, I go to bed.
Now, here's another massive distinction for learners. Go to bed versus go to sleep.
Really? They aren't exactly the same thing.
No, they describe two different stages. Going to bed is the physical act of walking into the bedroom, pulling back the blankets, and getting under the covers.
Okay.
You can go to bed and then lie there reading a book or watching a movie for an hour.
Right.
Going to sleep is the exact moment when your consciousness ends.
So practically speaking, you can go to bed at 10 p.m., but not actually go to sleep until 11 p.m.
Exactly. And being able to tell that specific story correctly helps people truly understand your habits and your daily rhythm.
I sleep. The day is officially done.
It is a very comprehensive, very relatable walkthrough.
It really is. Now, I want to pause here for a second. We have looked deeply at the vocabulary of the day, but the grammar is the invisible glue that holds this entire routine together.
It certainly is the glue.
The source material includes this really great section, a problem scenario where an English learner makes a very common mistake. I want to play that scenario out for everyone, but let's actually analyze why the mistake happens in the first place.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Okay, so imagine I am the enthusiastic learner. I walk up to you and I say, hello, I am waking up at 6 every day.
Ooh. As an English teacher, that one hurts my ears just a little bit.
Why, though? It sounds perfectly logical in my head. I am waking up. It's an action.
It sounds logical to you because you are probably translating the raw concept of the action from your native language. But in English, the present continuous tense, meaning saying I am waking up, is strictly reserved for actions that are happening right now in this exact second or for very temporary situations.
So if I say to you, I am waking up, it sounds like I am literally on the phone with you right now, still in bed, rubbing my eyes, saying I am actively doing this right this second.
Exactly. It describes the present moment. But a daily routine is not a temporary moment. A routine is a habit. It is a recurring fact of your life. It's permanent. And for permanent facts and daily habits, English requires the present simple tense.
So to fix it, I just say simply, I wake up.
Yes. I wake up.
Yeah.
I go. I eat. It's short. It's punchy. It's factual.
I see the difference now. I am going to work means I am sitting in my car driving right now, but I go to work means I have a job and I travel there every single day as a habit.
That is the crucial, fundamental difference. If you can master the present simple tense, your storytelling about your life becomes instantly more confident and natural.
So the correction provided in the text is very gentle and supportive. It just reminds us not I am waking up, but I wake up.
And honestly, that is the exact attitude everyone should have towards making language mistakes. They aren't failures. They are just slight calibration errors.
Because practice makes progress.
Precisely. You adjust and move forward.
Before we officially wrap up this analysis, let's do exactly what the source material suggests at the end. Let's do a mini review.
A great idea.
We are going to list the core action anchors of the day. I want you, the listener, to mentally check if you remember the specific nuance of each phrase as we say it.
Let's run through them nice and clear.
Wake up.
Consciousness returns. The brain turns on.
Brush teeth.
Defined by the tool plus the action. Morning hygiene.
Go to work.
The daily commute moving toward a destination.
Eat lunch.
The essential midday break to refuel.
Come home.
The evening, return to your sanctuary.
Go to bed.
Getting under the covers at the end of the cycle.
Excellent. And we absolutely cannot forget the frequency adverbs. These are like the volume knobs on your routine. They tell us how strong the habit is.
Let's review those too. Always.
Yeah.
Meaning 100% of the time.
Usually. Which is maybe around 80%.
Sometimes. Right down the middle at 50%.
And finally, never. 0%.
So you can say, I never skip breakfast, or I usually drive to work. Adding these small words gives your sentences so much more precision.
The text offers one final really practical tip for practice. It says, describe your day in English every night before sleeping.
This is a proven technique called narrative rehearsal. It is incredibly effective for language acquisition.
Why does it work so well?
Because it forces your brain to actively recall the English vocabulary while the physical memory of the action is still completely fresh from that same day. It moves the words out of your passive memory and locks them into your active speaking memory.
So, as you are lying in bed tonight, after you have gone to bed, but before you've actually gone to sleep, just whisper softly to yourself, "Today I woke up, I drank coffee, I went to work."
It literally takes 2 minutes, but it totally cements the language in your mind.
This has been such a fascinating look at the structure of our everyday lives. It turns out the so-called boring stuff is actually the most linguistically rich stuff we have.
It's the absolute foundation. If you can build a really solid foundation of confidence with these daily routines, you can build a massive skyscraper of fluency right on top of it.
That is such a great image to end on. To all of our amazing listeners out there, thank you so much for taking this deep dive with us today in the garden.
We truly appreciate your time and your support.
We hope you feel at least a little bit more confident about tackling that small talk anxiety now.
The next time someone asks you, "How was your day?" you have all the tools you need to tell them exactly how it was.
We would absolutely love to hear from you now. The source material asks a really great engagement question that we want to pass on to you. What time do you wake up? Or what is your specific morning routine?
Are you a disciplined 6 a.m. riser? Or are you hitting that snooze button until 8?
Tell us in the comments below. It is always so interesting to see how different cultures and different professions structure their daily time. We love reading your messages.
We really do.
And hey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more easy and fun English lessons.
And please give this video if this deep dive helped you understand these phrases a bit better.
And if it gave you a new perspective on your daily habits, please share it with a friend who also wants to improve their English. Knowledge always grows when it's shared.
That is so right.
Remember, every single morning is a fresh start and a brand new chance to learn. Until next time, keep practicing, take care of your routine, and enjoy your morning.
Goodbye, everyone. Keep up the great work.
Bye for now.